No! The tank commander is gone! The Vancouver Canucks have officially fired head coach Adam Foote. It was announced earlier this morning by Darren Dreger that the Canucks were continuing to make changes. Sources said at the time that Foote had been let go. Other changes to the coaching staff were also being made. Dreger then went out there and tweeted that Kevin Dean, Scott Young, and Brett McLean were all dismissed as well. Top Reply says this was the worst group of coaches assembled at any level. And whether or not that is true, there is an element of the Adam Foote conversation that needs to be acknowledged that says that, hey, a lot of Canucks fans wanted to see this guy stick around, not because he's the best coaching option for the team, but because he was genuinely a terrible hire that did not give the Canucks any positive fortunes. And if you wanted to secure the first overall pick next year, a head coach with the record of Adam Foote helps you do that. But of course, you know, NHL teams aren't thinking about guys that they can bring in to intentionally lose. Let's continue on with some of the other tweets here. Thomas Drance went out there and posted an article. Canucks have officially dismissed head coach Adam Foote after only one NHL season. Pierre LeBrun went out there and said this, that Foote has 2 more years on his Canucks contract, paying him $1.5 million per season. So Vancouver still owes him that. And with this being said, this kind of contradicts everything that we had been hearing from Rick Dhaliwal over the course of the past few weeks, saying that Adam Foote's job was secure because Francesco Aquilini, the owner, does not want to pay guys to not work for him. It's not even just Foote, it's Dean, it's Young, it's McLean. Vancouver is going through and taking out the trash. Okay, I shouldn't say it like that. Sorry, these are human beings we were talking about. Shouldn't refer to them as garbage, but Vancouver is legitimately going out there and shedding some of the names. And with this in mind, they will have to hire new people, other executives and coaches to come in and fill those roles, and Francesco Aquilini's payroll is gonna increase by a little bit more over the course of the next few months. We were hearing all this talk about how Aquilini does not want to do that. He does not want to pay people to not work for him, because he's already doing that with some of the other guys that were kicked out earlier. But now? Doesn't seem like that really matters now, doesn't it? Harman Dale went out there and tweeted this out. Ryan Johnson, in his media interview today, he says that Cammy Granato and Emily Castonguay will remain in their roles as AGMs. Now, for what it's worth, Castonguay staying, that seems like a pretty good move. Sapster went out there and said that the organization views Castonguay as the nerd AGM that they need. She is a finance bachelor and Juris Doctor. To say she's intelligent is a massive understatement. However, the team does need more minds like her and are going to need to hit on some analytical hires. Analytical hires which Ryan Johnson said the Canucks are going to focus on. Now, with all that said, there is a pretty interesting element to acknowledge when it comes to the direction the team is going down. And Taj's tweet goes out there and essentially sums it all up. Based on all of the reporting and the rumors, Canucks ownership wanted Evan Gold, Canucks ownership wanted to keep Adam Foote, and Canucks ownership wanted some AGMs gone and changes in the scouting department. The complete opposite has happened in all of those situations. Safe to say the Sedins have complete control. For now. That is absolutely true. Evan Gold was not hired. Jim Rutherford wanted Ryan Johnson. The Sedins wanted Ryan Johnson. Ownership wanted to keep Foote because they didn't want to pay extra coaches. Guess what? Foote's gone. Ownership wanted some new AGMs and to get rid of the scouts. Well, guess what? The scouts got extension in their contracts, and Castonguay and Granato are sticking around. So everything that ownership wanted is not happening. And we'll see how long this lasts, because for now, all these decisions actually do align with what the Sedins seem to have wanted. Now, with that said, there is some, let's just say, what's the term we could use? hesitation that you could bring up? Noah Strang went out there and posted this: with a new coach, better vibes, and some better injury luck, am I crazy to think this Canucks team isn't guaranteed to be last in the league next year? I don't think they're good, but this roster isn't nearly as bad as the 58 points they managed this year. And while that's true, I do think that 58 points was just absolutely bottom of the barrel, worst case scenario territory. While it is true that I don't think the Canucks are that bad, I also do think, no matter how good the coach is, whether you get Scotty Bowman in his prime or Adam Foote of 25-26, I don't know how much a coach can improve a team. From 58 points on the season to, 500 got you 26th in the league this previous year. It might not be too easy for Vancouver to start winning all these games all of a sudden. We'll see what happens. Maybe they go from 58 points to 68 points. But still, if they got 68 points this previous season, they still would have been last. It's not a walk in the park going out there and just improving the team, although I do understand Noah Strang's point over here. It's a good one to bring up. Ryan Johnson then had himself a media press conference earlier this afternoon. This is what he had to say about his decision to fire Adam Foote and Foote's staff. We would like to thank Adam, Scott, Kevin, and Brett for all the work they did for us this season, said Ryan Johnson. It was a challenging year on several fronts, and truthfully, Adam and his staff were dealt a very difficult hand. That said, as we head into a rebuild, our group feels new coaching voices are needed to chart the path forward. Establishing the proper environment and culture is a vital first step in creating a solid and authentic connection throughout the entire organization. At the start of next season, our coaches will need to do a lot of work with our players to instill in them the traits and habits that they will rely on moving forward. The process to bring in a new staff begins immediately. Now, for what it's worth, Ryan Johnson also says that hiring Manny Malhotra will not impact whether or not the Canucks drafts Caleb Malhotra 3rd overall this year. And I absolutely love the fact that he acknowledged this. There's some sort of a conflict of interest idea that was floating around. Oh, you can't get Manny and you can't draft Caleb because if you get them both, then all of a sudden players on the Canucks are going to feel weird when Caleb Malhotra gets power play time. There's going to be nepotism talk in there. And while that is a fair argument, Ryan Johnson fully saying that it does not matter to them and they will essentially just draft best player available and hire the best coach available, that's pretty direct, and I like the way that he phrased that. And then you had Farhan Lalji, who posted some other quotes here. Less about change in the past and more about implementing something for the future. I just wanted a new voice and a new group going forward. He also said that, hey, Manny Malhotra, that's an option. RJ is not hiding his interest in Manny, says the prospects of drafting Caleb playing into the decision, it doesn't sound like that will be an impediment. He wants to hire the best coach. He is going to go through the process with Malhotra before deciding how wide to cast a net for other candidates. Reading between the lines, it sounds like if things go well with Manny, they may not need to look elsewhere. No other teams have asked for permission yet to speak with him. Also, the AGMs will be retained. So with all that said, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you, Adam Foote, for your service to the tank. Vancouver will miss you. Sort of. Thoughts in the comment section. How do you feel about these new coaching moves and the fact that the Sedins and Ryan Johnson seem to actually have autonomy right now? How do you think this is going to fare for the Vancouver Canucks? Do you think Manny Malhotra is the guy for next season? Let me know in the comments all your opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.